I was gonna have the camera face my face, whatever. But it's way too bright outside, which is actually kind of funny. Um, when you take into the fact that it's apparently 30 something degrees outside. It doesn't feel like it's 30 something degrees, although I am wearing a jacket. But uh, I just wanted to go for a walk, which I might actually go for a walk later on because me and my roommate are gonna go out and play Pokemon Go. But yeah, the I ended up doing the internet, or not the internet. Sorry, I ended up doing my phone thing. I paid partial payment. They said that if I did a partial payment, that they would make it so the phone could go back up again. So hopefully it will go back up soon because I did what they told me to do. But right now it's still not up. So yeah. Anyways, I have a new card that came in, which I'm really excited for. I've been wanting to have it come in for a while, and it finally did. So I ended up spending quite a bit of time yesterday making a Magic the Gathering deck, a commander deck, using a commander that I made. It's a black-white legendary creature, basically. Obviously, it's a legendary creature. It has to be for it to be commander, but it's a black-white, and it's literally based off of an already existing Magic card. The only thing that I did that was different was I just changed the name because, I wanted to give it my own name. It's going to be part of a set that I'm making. So, but yeah, it's okay. I'll say one thing with the card. There is a part of the card that I kind of wish I could change with the effect. Just to make it a little bit not as strong. Because I do feel like it's a bit sorry, it's not overpowered. It's very strong, in my opinion. Even though it's literally, word for word, except for the name, it's word for word a copy of an already existing card. No, again. But it's like, I kind of wish I could just make some changes to it to make it not as strong as it is, because the reason why is because I noticed that with my current deck that I actually made for it, commander deck, I actually made the commander deck a very specific way. But when you take that card, the commander that I made, and when you take a look at all the cards that are in that deck, it's way too strong with the combos that it has. And I feel like my deck might be a bit too strong because of the commander being how strong it is. So I don't know. I don't want to, I already made the card, obviously. The card already exists. So it's not like I can just edit the card or anything like that. It is what it is. So, but yeah, it is also a bit of expensive. I didn't change that. I kept the price of it expensive. It was like either a 7 cost or it was a 6 cost. I don't remember, but it's a 5/5 though. So it's mainly the effect that is like the main part of like what makes the card good, I guess. So like a lot of the cards that I personally have made in the past when it comes to legendary creatures typically are based off of already existing cards to begin with. You have like a lot of 4/4s, 3/3s, 5/5s. And then I just, I go based off of already existing cards. Like I have cards from Return to Ravnica. I have cards from that. And so I'm kind of basing a lot of like stats of legendary creatures from those cards. Now, I'm not basing their effects off of those cards, but just the power toughness compared to how much mana cost they have. Like I'm doing that kind of a comparison. Right now, with the way that Magic is, obviously a lot of the cards that exist back then are either weaker or stronger. There is a card that I have, which is from, I forgot what it's called, but it's the set that has an X symbol. Woof woof dog. But it's just an X symbol. I think it's like 10th edition maybe. But I showed it to my roommate and he was like, it's shit. And then I showed it to my roommate's cousin. I think it's cousin, but and he was like, that's a really good card. It should be more expensive. And he thought it was a fake card. He thought it was a card that I made. I'm like, no, I didn't make that card. That's an actual card. But like, he wishes it was in an arena, which I looked and it's not an arena. It's too old for it to be an arena, unfortunately. It never got remade after arena came out. But yeah, like, honestly, the fact that he thinks it's strong makes me want to put it in a deck. I just don't know how I would go about doing it. It's a black card. I'm trying to remember what the name of it right now is. Yeah, on the top of my head, I do not remember what the name is. But yeah, regardless though, it's a 4 cost that deals 1 damage to each player, and for each of the creatures that they have on the battlefield. So if one person had, let's say, 10 creatures, they lose 10 life. If one person has 20 creatures, they lose 20 life. It's basically just that, And he thinks it's strong. My roommate thinks it's shit. Well, he didn't say it's shit, but it kind of, the way he described it, it seemed like that was the case. Like, it's not a card he would use in a deck, or any deck, if you have a lot of creatures in it, because it's affecting you. And with how I play with, example, 60 card deck. I play with 24 creatures, 12 non-creatures, 24 lands, because that's the baseline. At least it used to be the baseline of what decks would usually be. And so I just would always go based on that. It makes things easier for me. But like, with that being the case, that's not the kind of deck you'd want to have that in, because it's a lot of creatures compared to non-creatures that I would have to worry about. It's affecting me too. I'm taking damage from the amount of creatures that I have. And then you have, it's like a commander deck, 40 creatures, 20 non-creatures, and then 40 lands. So again, I'm taking a lot of damage. So it's like the decks that I've always been told to make, or told the baseline, like I recommend baseline of whatever for a deck. It's like, whatever the creatures you have is double the amount of non-creatures that you have, and it's the same amount as the amount of lands that you have. Now, obviously, I try to keep my lands even in regards to the amount of lands there are for each color, like red or blue, white, black, green, whatever. I try to keep them even if it is technically one-sided, because that's one struggle that I typically have in Arena. Arena automatically makes it so it auto-adjusts your lands based on how many of one color you have over the other, which makes it so a lot of the times when I play, I don't draw the one land that has the least amount. Like I tend to need it a lot, but never draw it. And so it's like, to avoid that, I typically just try to make it so they're both even. Now, a lot of the times in Arena, I forget to do it. But whenever I do make a deck in Arena, I usually try to get it out as even as I can. I think I'm going to turn left here, because it looks like the road gets cut off. It's like I don't remember that being where it ends, unless it's just being covered right now. But anyways, yeah, so some cards that I ended up making. I'm trying to like make certain themes. For example, Dogma is like Dogma cards. That's the subtype, or just basically just dog, like humanoid dog creatures. They're, you know, whatever. I also have Neko cards, Neko, which is literally just, you know, cat people, you know, humanoid cats. So I have some cards that are based off of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, because there's actually a dog, like a humanoid dog ninja, and I actually have a card based on it with a effect that's similar to it, kinda, or not effect, but like stat similar. And obviously I'm not using the picture from it, but it's just the idea of the card. It came from a card from Yu-Gi-Oh. Now, there are some cards that I have that are, like, by name, rip-off of other things. I literally have a subtype called Pokemon for shits and giggles. Because, you know, I was like, might as well add some Pokemon cards. Just because I had it in my mind. Random bird. Hi, bird. I'm surprised it didn't fly off when I came by. But yeah, it's like, I made Charizard, not Charizard, sorry, Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, you know, technically those three, Bulbasaur, you know, all like the 3 stars of Kanto. I made them and their evolutions into cards. I made Chansey a card. I made Jigglypuff a card, which I made based off of the anime. I even made a equipment, artifact equipment, that is literally, it's, you know, the microphone of Jigglypuff, just for shits and giggles. So yeah, I don't know, they're just for fun. To be honest, I made those cards, but they're not physical cards, and I don't think I'm going to make them physical cards. I don't know, I kind of want to go back and like do another recording of a video on YouTube where I showcase some more cards that I've made, but I would need to do a better job, because the last time I did a recording in regards to that, it just didn't do well. And I don't mean views. I don't care about the views on that video. I don't think it was going to get many anyways, but like, I didn't do a good job on the presentation of it, recording in general of it. There's a fucking lizard right there. What the hell? I didn't know there was lizards. It crawled into that crack right there. I didn't know there was lizards in Kansas. Damn. Anyways. Oh shit, I just realized the flashlight's on on my phone. Well, I didn't turn it on, but since it's on, let's see if I can find that. Where was it again? I already forgot what crack it went into. Whatever. But yeah, apparently my flashlight's been on the whole time I've been recording. Yeah, let me try and turn it off. Oh, well, that was easy. Okay, my bad. This whole time I'm just draining my battery. But anyways, there are honestly a lot of cards that I made that I kind of want to go back and just like delete, redo, do some balancing. And honestly, the Pokemon cards are probably ones I would delete the most. Like, I'm not even sure what the reason was I came up. I decided to do those. Like, I had an idea. Oh, hey, I want to implement some other cards into this card game. Why don't I just do Pokemon? Because I was playing Pokemon at the time. I still technically am. Pokemon Emerald. But like, why not do that? And so I started making them into cards, and then like now I'm looking back and I'm realizing how dumb that was of me. Especially since it's like I have some that are part of a set. It's like about 10 maybe. Like less than 20 for sure. And I feel like if I'm gonna have that be a thing, it should be like a whole set. Or at least a whole mini set. I guess technically not a full one, but yeah. I guess if anything, I probably would just go back and like not redo the sets, but like put them off onto the sidelines for now. I'm actually working on a fourth set right now. Technically a fifth, but we're not going to count that one. I'm doing a fourth set, and it's, I guess you could say that the first 3 sets that I did were more like practice sets, and like I have an idea of how I want to do things now. So I'm like, the fourth set is technically the official fourth set. So that's kind of what I'm doing with it and how I'm treating things. But like, set 1 through 3 still exists. I still have folders for them. All the cards are in there. I didn't delete them. They're still there. But like, I think what I'm going to do is like put them off for now. And like in the future go back and maybe not really fix them. Oh yeah, I guess, yeah, technically fix some of them, but like in the future I'll go back and like figure something out. I guess one idea I had was like with the older sets, I would just not release, not even release, it's the wrong word, but like not make all of the cards that were in the set, but like choose certain cards that would work together as a deck, and then make the deck, and then like only make copies of the cards that would be in the deck, so that when they're all made, I'll have like an actual deck. I keep hearing things move around in the leaves. Probably just the wind, but I don't know. Anyways, but like make just enough for like 60 cards or whatever. Hell, it could even just be 100 card decks for, for Commander. I don't know, but like I would make a deck, the decks how they should be, and then like once I do that, they'll just come as the decks themselves. I won't make them into packs like I'm going to do with the other stuff, because for those who don't know, idea that I had was I'm going to make a full set of cards, Magic cards. Then I was going to go and put them into like envelopes as if they were packs, and I was going to do a draft, like a draft tournament kind of a thing. That was the idea that I had, and like I'm still going to do it, but like I think I'm better off. Like I'm already at a point now where I'm doing it minimum, like a few at a time. I'm not doing the whole set at once. Shit's expensive. I don't have the money to do it all. Although I could technically do it with certain cards, because you do get a like a discount if you do them in bulk. But like I'm gonna wait, because I need to figure out what cards I would even want to have be done in a bulk. That's a big tree branch. But yeah, so I'm on my way back, by the way, so I'm gonna have to end this recording soon. But anyways, just in general, like with the OG sets, the first 3 sets I mentioned that were pretty much like test sets, like those are gonna be turned into decks. I'll have probably 5 decks. Maybe a little more. Actually, you know what? Yeah, there will be more. 5 decks. Alright? Which is just monocolor decks. But then 2 other decks that are going to be dual color. Green and white, and then black and red. Because there already is those 2 literally in mind, because I had an idea like of like those two colors of green and white. They're at war with black and red. It's like, angels versus demons and shit. Heaven versus hell. That was the idea of the set. Of the very first set. That was the idea of the set. So, I don't know what I would name the set. I guess Heaven versus Hell, literally the name of the set. War of Heaven and Hell. I don't know, something like that. But that was the idea of the set. So, still might do it. Like different sets of, different names of sets. Like, I haven't really, like, they're just called set 1, 2, and 3. Like, set 1, set 2, set 3. I don't have an actual name. But set 4, I have an actual name. So, I don't think I should leave it as just set 1. So, I'll have to figure out a name for the first 3 sets. And that's the other thing, too. Like, the first set was 150 cards. The second set has 300 cards. The third set, I don't remember how many are in there, but there's not as much as the 300, obviously. I think maybe 100 cards. I think. And that's not including lands. So, like, I don't know how I would go about it in regards to, like, naming shit and how I'm going to do the sets. But, yeah. Alright, I'm almost back to my place. I'm gonna flip the so you can see my ugly ass face and then get blinded by the light behind me, which doesn't seem as bad as it was before. Although the sun is in a different direction, so there's that too. But anyways, I just wanted to go for a walk, and I figured, fuck it, I might as well talk about some shit, magic related stuff while I walk. King Kong still gonna come as a card. Then you have Asmodeus, Azazel, those kind of cards. They're gonna be a thing still. But they're gonna come in the form of decks, not in packs, like I originally thought. I got rid of a mechanic that I made. I every card that had that mechanic, I got rid of and redid. It was a very overpowered mechanic that should have never existed to begin with. So, at least I fixed something already. But, yeah. I have an idea in regards to some things. I guess if anything, if it turns out I don't have enough to make a monocolor deck, I might make them into mini decks. 40 cards, for example. 15 land, 15 creatures, 10 non-creatures. I might do something like that. I don't really know. Hey, it might even be 30. I might just flat out just make things small. 6 non-creatures, 12 creatures, 12 lands. I don't really know yet. We'll see. But for now, I am going to end my recording. If anybody has any ideas on if it turns out I don't have enough cards for a full 60 card deck, any advice on what it should be, 40, 30, and yeah, I'll just leave it at that. All right, adios.